India has made its mark in amalgamating its culture and linguistic nuances with the word through varied applications. But this needs to go hand in hand with testing as well, since challenges faced in Indic languages pose a greater roadblock because of its subtle nuances. This video will shed some light on the same and the solutions to overcome these roadblocks. This video will cover the testing challenges in Indic languages during the enablement phase, the way to decode these challenges using linguistic rules, challenges faced in the integration phase, the solution, and the major takeaways. With the introduction of demonetization and the Digital India campaign, a huge demand for the support of Indic languages in software application has increased. And to meet this demand, companies are trying their best to localize their softwares in as many Indic languages as possible. And often, in this process, they end up doing a lots of linguistic mistakes and cultural blunders. The government of India's leading payment app, Bheem, the moment it was localized in other Indic languages like Hindi, Urdu, etc., the whole meaning of welcome screen got changed. So, here rather than Bheem application welcoming a user himself welcoming Bheem application. This is because of design level changes required for Indic languages. In English and other Roman languages, a sentence starts with a verb and object comes in the last, while in Indic and other Asian languages, sentence start with object and verb comes in the last. So the design of logo should go on the top and the strings "Mein aapka swagat hai" in Hindi should come below. Here is another example. Generally, it's a localization industry standard that on a locales and language setting page, there should be English transliteration of that language so that a non-native user can easily switch the application language looking at the English transliteration. But here in Indic languages, translators often end up translating everything including the language name. This puts the non-native user in a tough situation to come out of a non-native language. These are just two industry-specific examples. There are thousands of such examples as Indic language tester come across while testing application. For example, instance of app crash and data loss in Indic languages application are 10 times more than in English and other Latin-based languages. Similarly, Indic languages string take 3 to 5 times more space than English and Roman-based languages, often making text going out of the box design for a button and creating a lot of functionality breaks. Do you have any idea how many million users are going to be impacted of such issues? Here is a recent data report released by Google and KPMG India, with Hindi being the most used language with a user base of 38% and imperativeness to provide flawless support of languages increase ever so. So the question is, why are Indic languages exposed so much to linguistic and cultural nuances? Part of the reason is that it's altogether a new phenomena for the market of Indic languages, and there is not much information and frameworks are easily available in the public domain. So the translator and the international program managers find it really tough to follow the international localization standards. Particularly, the 3 T's of localization industry are translation, transliteration, and transcreation, as you can see by the example. It has also been observed that translators in Indic languages end up transcreating everything, even some of the very popular English terminologies that have become very common in Indic itself, like email, login, logout, etc. So here is a judicious approach that needs to be followed. How many of you heard the word Adudak? It's a Hindi transcreation of email. Is it correct to use the word in your product UI for email? The answer is simple, no. Parmanu Patra? No. Papatra? Still no. So what's the correct and ideal solution for such terminologies? Email. One needs to simplify it, transliterate it, as it is in Hindi to avoid confusion among users. So far, we have just highlighted the issues related to the UI from the usability point of view. There are a lot of challenges in the enablement phase as well while doing character encoding. For example, a single character of Hindi can take different shapes and forms based on the context. In this instance, Ra character in Uttar is completely different with the post base Ra in Pradesh. Similarly, post base in Ra in Tripura is completely different with the above base Ra in Karnataka and below base Ra in Maharashtra. Just imagine how tough a job it is for a tester to write 5 and 6 test cases for a single character to test a language. For instance, there are 247 characters in a single language of Tamil itself, including vowels, consonants, and compound letters. Testing all characters combination becomes a mammoth task. So what testers generally do is, rather than testing these characters one by one, they divide them in syllables and clustered conjuncts. Based on various permutations and combinations, there might be infinite such clustered conjuncts. It's up to a tester to decide the way he is going to optimize these combinations to cover all linguistic scenarios that end user might use. Here is an example of few clustered conjuncts in Hindi. Testing challenges in integration. To give Indic language support, you need to have close combination of the following components: a keyboard that has Indic language layout, a font that has Indic language glyphs, a text engine that understands the Indic dynamics. Often in the case of interoperability with Win and Mac and text engine, integration of text engine and font fails and the application starts malfunctioning. So when the application starts malfunctioning, it gives such kind of results. Here is an example of Hindi, Telugu and Kannada conjunct break. As a tester or a developer, you need to know all the linguistic dynamics. Here is an example of a real story. A non-Indic developer of a leading voice editing tool ended up incorporating capitalization feature in Indic. And what happened next was the application started crashing the moment the capitalization feature was applied on the English text. Due to the Digital India campaign, Indic languages have a huge potential and market value. Market experts predict that in coming future, these regional Indic languages will have more user base than some of the European languages like Italian, Brazilian Portuguese, Swedish, Finnish, etc. Fact of the matter is that in India, English only has 10% of the total market user base. Rest of the Indic languages market use vernacular languages. With the growth of demand of Indic support, understanding and implementation of Indic testing will become very important. And it will be really important for testers, developers, and all those who are stakeholders in SDLC to not just know the language but also very deep things like culture, traditions, and values. For example, in your product, stickers and emojis related to Holi festival has much significance in North India but doesn't have much significance in South. Similarly is the case with Onam in North. With this, we hope that you have learned a little something on Indic languages, the challenges faced and its growing importance in today's globally connected world. To explore more, log on to our website www.qinfotech.com. Thank you.